now that that business is concluded, we'll need a motion to exit the closed session.
I move to exit the closed session.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of exiting closed session, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next we'll need to certify the closed session.
We need to read that out before we certify, Angie.
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. Whereas the Economic Development Authority of Montgomery County, Virginia has convened a closed meeting on this date in accordance with provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas Section 2.2-3711 of the Code of Virginia requires certification by the Economic Development Authority of Montgomery County, Virginia, that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Economic Development Authority of Montgomery County, Virginia hereby certifies that to the best of each director's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies. And two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion conveying the closed meeting were heard or considered by the Economic Development Authority of Montgomery County, Virginia. All right, with that, that's what we're certifying. We have a motion certified.
Motion to certify.
All right, a motion certified. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, a motion and a second. We'll need a roll call vote for this.
Chair Farrell,
Aye.
Vice Chair Husband,
Aye.
Director Miller,
Aye.
Director Broughton,
Aye.
Director Travis,
Aye.
and Director Simpkins.
Aye.
Motion's approved. Okay, we'll go on to other business then.
The first item is Falling Branch Corporate Park, acceptance of the bid. So again, backing up a couple steps, in Falling Branch, I'm gonna hop up here. This is for Phase 2, Site 2. We put out to bid the entire grading package, road, water, sewer, and our expected price was $4.8 million. We received 3 bids with a low bid of $2.797. And the good thing about that is, you never know when you could have extra rock or otherwise, but it could allow us some funds to buy land with out of that CIP account. So right now we're working, the contractor has provided all of the contract documents necessary and all of the payment and performance bond and all the town of Christiansburg bonds. So what the EDA needs to do is adopt a resolution. Sorry, and I'm going back and forth. Adopt a resolution approving. So since the land is in the name of the Economic Development Authority, Marty indicated that the contract should be with the Economic Development Authority. While it is county funds and it was bid in the proper fashion, the Economic Development Authority will be the contract agent. And as we discussed earlier, the county will be paying the bills and no need to flow the money to the Economic Development Authority. So basically, the recommended action is to approve the resolution to enter in a contract with, see if I can make this slightly bigger. So to enter into a contract with Main Street Builders LLC they had the lowest bid, and in accordance with the design documents by Hurt and Profit dated January 18th of this year. So the EDA has the funds, and so basically we just need to adopt the resolution and move forward.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to adopt this resolution to contract with Main Street Builders.
Marty's not here to confirm, but I'm gonna do a roll call vote just in case for these resolutions. So Chair Farrell,
Aye.
Vice Chair Husband,
Aye.
Director Miller.
Aye.
Director Boughton.
Aye.
Director Travis,
Aye.
and Director Simpkins.
Aye.
All right, motion's approved. And that was, as we discussed last time, a very good price.
It is a very good price, and I think their entire company is going to work on the project.
Super.
And the cost of the road, whereas we had priced it at $2 million, is going to come in like at $820,000. So there's some big differences in cost. The next item, because we are moving forward with the construction of the property, we need to enter into a stormwater agreement with the town of Christiansburg. And we've done this for Suncap. We are actually the developer on these properties. We've done temporary ones with Suncap and with United Therapeutics.
So this is their way of holding our feet to the fire that will execute best management practices.
Yes, sir.
I read through that, it was kind of interesting.
So, we will enter into this agreement with the town of Christiansburg that we will, according to state and local laws, build the stormwater pond and manage the stormwater pond. The only difference, and this is transferable, should we sell the property, the stormwater pond goes with the property. So.
As does the obligation for best management practices.
Yes. Once Federal Express said they didn't want to be part of a regional pond, and they built their own 2 ponds. Basically, we did a new parcel, which y'all executed. It's 38 acres on that side of the road, and there's a 20-acre pad with the pond and road, water, sewer, everything going to the site. And that way, we can get out of owning, we'll only own the one stormwater pond, hopefully not anymore.
So somebody else gets the pleasure of going after the muskrats or beavers.
I can't tell it. We're being recorded.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the stormwater agreement with the town of Christiansburg.
So there's a resolution in your, I would say packet, but there's a resolution in your board docs. If you'd like to look at that we would need approving to enter into that agreement.
Move approval of the resolution.
We have a motion, do we have a second to approve the resolution?
A second.
We have a motion, second to approve the resolution. Would you like a roll call vote?
Chair Farrell,
Aye.
Vice Chair Husband,
Aye.
Director Miller.
Aye.
Director Broughton.
Aye.
Director Travis,
Aye.
and Director Simpkins.
Aye.
Motion's approved.
All right, the next item is the Appalachian Power easement. And we have a resolution on this as well, but I want to bring up the revised sketch we have from AEP. So we can all see it a little better. So originally, last month, the Economic Development Authority approved entering into an easement agreement with AEP for just this line right here, which is the only part that was on our property. It was originally proposed to be on the Suncap or Federal Express side of the road. Federal Express came back and said, I want an ALTA survey of the property, and AEP was working on having a fit. And I just said, put it on our side of the road, it'll be much easier. So here is where the power will be coming from, and then it'll be running approximately 1,720 feet to where we originally approved it, and then it'll be running to our stormwater pond. So basically, this is the point from which they'll draw their electricity for pad 2. So,
So they'll have a switch in the meter there.
yes, sir. Well, right now, they'll only have the capability to extend it. Since there's not an industry there, there's no switch or meter. It's just an extended 3-phase line. And the town of Christiansburg pays for the streetlights. We install them, they pay for them. So the AEP easement, which is also in board docs, basically says that they will be on our property, on our southern side of the road. And as a political subdivision, we approve their installing this underground facility. And this also needs a resolution, which is the third item. It's a basic resolution, but it's basically, one thing we wanted to tie them down on is the width of the easement. So it's going to be a 20-foot wide easement extending along the south side of the road. So basically, this resolution allows them to move forward and for us to execute the agreement. Does anybody have any questions?
All right, with that, we've got resolution on the screen and also on your tablets. We need a motion to approve the resolution to approve a 20-foot wide easement to Appalachian Power Company. It's described on the map of the parcel.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Let's go ahead and take a roll call vote on that. So,
Chair Farrell,
aye.
Vice Chair Husband,
Aye.
Director Miller,
Aye.
Director Broughton,
Aye.
Director Travis,
Aye.
and Director Simpkins.
Aye.
Motion's approved.
Good suggestion to put on our side. It's good. Solve the problem.
You can pull down on your board docs the Alacran building drawings. So they have submitted they bought lot 7 in Pauling Branch Corporate Park, and they have submitted a second set of drawings that meet the park covenants. So I'm just gonna pop down back into
I don't think I
So-
realized it was 2 buildings.
So by the covenants, they must submit the concept plan and drawing for the project. And they must have a site plan in place submitted to Town of Christiansburg by June 30th to use our stormwater pond. I've tried to be very clear about that. They originally, in their concept plan, had rock around the second building. And I informed them that was not allowed. They needed to have either cement or heavy-duty pavement, their choice. And so right now they're going with heavy-duty pavement. Montgomery County has done similar where areas where you have heavy trucks, but it's not allowed in the park. So they're gonna do 2 buildings. One is about 17,000 square feet and one is about 14,000 square feet. Let me see if I have the buildings. Nope. So, while it's gonna be a little bright, it meets all the covenant requirements. They have the surface block split face block at the base. And then they go into stucco panels on what would be the east and south of both buildings. And that is what is in requirement with the EDA recorded covenants. So they're going to be doing some freight forwarding and some of their own business. And Alacran is a defense company. Here they're going to be, and it's been looked at by the town of Christiansburg well over a year ago. They're going to be taking large batches of wet accelerant, and then they're going to be breaking it down into small 60 drum packages. Luckily, the fire marshal for the town of Christiansburg worked at the arsenal, so he knows exactly what they're doing and is comfortable with it. Otherwise, this would not be occurring. And then on the second slide, on the buildings, they're just going to use metal panels and then stucco at the top of the eaves. So on their site plan, so if you look, so they're facing Technology and Parkway Drive, right at the intersection. And their site plan, they've got a fence that goes around. They have asked to buy lot 9, which I am not encouraging. Lot 9 is this little lot here, across from Federal Express. That is, besides lot 3, that is our last small site that we could possibly use.
Why do they want it?
So according to what they're doing, they need to be at least 50 feet off of the property line. And they would like to buy lot 9 and just move their buildings all over a little further, and then they could build right up to the property line. I don't recommend that we go in that direction. An offer, not a quote-unquote offer as in I'll pay you this much, but they said, would the EDA sell it to us? And so at this point, I'm not recommending that. They've submitted what they need to submit, and they bought the property they need to buy.
I guess they're thinking if they get it, they'll make their buildings bigger? More
Not
space?
necessarily. They'll move the buildings closer.
Okay,
No, that's not a productive use of lot 9. That does not
No.
make sense for us.
If you look from the corner of the building, I don't have a little thing. Here, that's 100 feet. Corner of the building here to the property line. They've got to have over 50 feet. And so the only thing they would do is shift their buildings over and allow for more trucks and so forth.
and in this site plan, inside the fence, they're gonna have heavy paving, everything inside that fence?
Not everything, where the employees are parked, the cars to the east or to the left, that's not gonna be heavy paving. When they get into the truck areas, the docks, they're gonna do heavy paving.
So all this over here will not be heavy paving.
Yes, sir.
They could make that gravel or,
No gravel, has to be, the light, there's heavy paving and light paving, so they could do light in that area.
the whole site inside the fence will be paved then.
Except for, there will be portions that's not paved, but, you know, like going up the hill, they'll leave that, but it'll be inside the fence. According to the town of Christiansburg, you can go up to 90% in industrial property and with our stormwater pond, assuming they get everything in on time. So,
I wonder, I know it's not required for us, but I'm a little concerned about the environmental impacts of this. I think there's more trucks and there's an extra building than I think I was aware of previously, and then that amount of chemicals and that amount of concrete. it just poses some concerns. I know we talked about safety of the fire marshal, but there's chemicals, there's neighborhoods nearby, and there's lots of pavement, so it's gonna make stormwater issues worse. So is there any environmental review that could happen or anything like that? Or protections?
As long as they meet the town of Christiansburg building code requirements and the stormwater requirements, then that, the Economic Development Authority, back, Virginia DEQ, town of Christiansburg issues the stormwater documentation. And the town of Christiansburg approves the building code and the interpretation of the building code. And their interpretation is this all works. And so, as a result, we sold them the land. They've complied with getting us building drawings in under a year that are acceptable. We really don't have any additional ability to require other items than what's legally bound.
But everything would be subject to DEQ regulations.
Correct. They'll have DEQ and the town of Christiansburg looking at them.
There's not gonna be a lot of spillage, because this is
No.
accelerants here, they're gonna be, everything's gonna be packaged.
I mean, it's gonna be like backcountry in a way. I mean, backcountry's got a pretty large concrete presence and asphalt, except for they're packaging a different item.
Something less volatile.
Volatile or poisonous.
Any runoff from this is gonna report to the stormwater pond anyway, so I wouldn't think it'd be a big deal.
And if they have any release issue, that
Yeah,
It'll come
and that'll
down
be a
hard.
DEQ issue.
right.
Did they just want the other property to put the building against it to have more space to maneuver the tractor trailers around when they're coming in and out?
They want the other property so they can get inside of, with the products they're doing, they have to have at least 50 feet from the property line. They want the other property just so they could shift all the buildings west.
So it has nothing to do with the trucks getting around.
No, it's,
It looks tight to me for that reason, but I guess they haven't worked out.
I don't have the site plan hasn't been submitted, so it's not public record yet. I've seen a copy of it, and that's where I saw the rock. So that's been correct.
They probably just want more room for, because that's pretty tight for trucks to get in and out. They're looking for a little easier flow of traffic, be my guess. But, I think as Ellie pointed out, not a very good expenditure of our land. Just alleviate some truck issues.
So if they move to the west, that would be to our right on this.
Correct. All right.
That's lot 9 over there.
So they own lot 7, and everything in yellow is already graded. And they're bumping up against the lot 9 fence, or lot 9 property line, I guess is a better way to say it. We haven't officially subdivided lot 9 out. You can get about a 15 to 20,000 square foot building on lot 9 once it's graded out. But that's, if somebody wants to come along and build 20,000 square feet, that's the only place left to do it. Which is why I'm not too keen on selling them the property. Does anybody else have any other questions about Alacran?
I think it's gonna be an attractive looking facility when they get finished. Look at the colors.
So this does not need a resolution. We just need a motion approving the concept building drawings, and then they have to build them according to the concepts.
Okay, so we'll entertain a motion to approve their building plans.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the building plans of Alacran, which are in your packet. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Okay.
The next item is corporate drive. I'm gonna switch back to the PowerPoint. They have multiple computers in the boardroom, which makes it, this process easy.
We do this in the boardroom. We do that right here. It's a little awkward there too.
So we are, so our economic development grant for the property. So corporate drive, which is leading to United Therapeutics site, which is this road here, has been finished, and it's my understanding the town of Christiansburg will soon accept it. Last month, we approved the last piece for our part, which was approving the easement that they needed for their entranceway. And we have put forth their last payment as well. So this is just an update that the corporate drive project should be wrapped up. All the funding that is in that project will be paid out, and the rest will go to the county for the note that they hold for Falling Branch Phase 1. It won't quite pay it off, but it'll drop it from 300 and some to 100, excuse me. So we'll close that bank account and move forward. So they had security and no trespassing signs very close to the entrance, and that was one of the items that had to be removed. So they've got a rolling 10-foot fence or 12-foot fence right at the front. The other item is Valley Landscaping. So this is for Falling Branch Corporate Park mowing. Their price increased 10% from last year. With Valley Landscaping. So it was $1,200, now it's $1,320. The only other time that the price increased was when diesel got above $4. So they held our prices pretty firm for multiple years, including through COVID, until the diesel got up. And that's in the agreement.
I saw that surcharge down at the bottom.
Yep. It gets over $4 again, diesel, they have a 3% surcharge. So
The quantity is the number of times that they do it?
yes, so they would do it essentially,
9 times, but they'll only mow the tall grass around the stormwater twice a year.
correct.
Okay.
I'm doing what's legally responsible with the town of Christiansburg.
You mean required, not responsible.
Legally required, correct. Although I'm gonna meet them out there Friday and we'll probably have a bunch more work. So just need a motion to accept Valley Landscaping's pricing so that we can have them continuing to mow out at Falling Branch.
So moved.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to accept the bid from Valley Landscaping. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion's adopted.
All right.
Question for you, Angie, where does that show up on the, like our monthly treasury report? Is this paid once or do we see like an installment every month?
It's paid as it comes in throughout the year
Which is a
as
monthly
they do
thing.
the work.
Okay. Thank you.
So the last thing is the broadband update, which I will let Carly give and
So they're still working in the Valley 1 area. As of yesterday, AEP had completed 2 miles out of 7.4 miles of fiber to be built of underbuild in the Valley 1 area, which is about 27% of the underbuild, and they did just the mile last week to give you an idea of how that's moving. The most recent roadblock for the Valley 1 project was Segra being able to splice into the fiber. So that has finally been approved, and AEP and Segra set a date of May 3rd for the splice to occur with a backup date, which we hope we don't need, of May 10th should there be any inclement weather. And the notice provided by Gigabeam to other pole attachers met its 30-day required timeline on April 8th, so they're out moving any attachers that didn't follow the Make Ready protocol. And for VADI 2022, the last mile fiber design has been completed and Make Ready has been submitted to AEP. Any questions on that?
the good news is without the point of presence, the Segra line and Gigabeam connecting, there's no internet. You can run all the fiber you want, it's not gonna be lit up. So we need that to occur so we can move forward.
So we're gonna start making home connections then next month.
We're very hopeful and optimistic. I think if they made that May 3rd or 10th date, then I do think they'll make connections in June.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't say that.
I know, right? June of 2024, Marty said.
Is it 25?
Oh,
No,
Marty.
no, I don't think this has to be done by the end of this calendar year.
Yeah.
And
This phase, yep.
hopefully it'll be done before September with this timeline.
If they get the point of presence.
That's right.
So we should know that next meeting then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be close.
I think that's set in stone. There's no,
That
but yeah.
is wood.
And the way that'll work once they get that connection is there are a few homes that will have service immediately, just a few. And then as that, what Carly was talking about, the underbuild, which is adding fiber to the AEP system, as that moves out, more houses can be added on. But I really think that once they get that first set of houses connected, that it'll go a whole lot faster than it's been going.
You know, is the media planning on covering those first installations or anything? That'd be kind of cool if they did.
I think it's gonna depend on how fast the rest of it's moving, because it's gonna be, the first installations, it's gonna be 4. It's gonna be 4 residences, so it is a small amount. I know they talked about doing a public event maybe in the fall, so
They wanna be
we're
careful
following
not
their
to
lead on that.
Yeah, they don't want to raise everybody's expectations and then,
Yeah,
where is it?
Right.
They're paying $3,000 a month once that's connected, so they are motivated.
they're motivated, yeah.
It's a really good, I really think that's a good sign. They gave specific dates, that's very important.
And that's really what's been holding up the project the entire year. Does anybody have any other questions?
All right, with that, next meeting is tentatively scheduled to be on May 21, 2024, to begin at 11:30 here. Nothing else? Meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
And just a reminder, just make sure you charge your iPad and bring it with you for the next meeting. If you run into any issues, just contact one of us and hopefully we can solve it or get IT involved if it's that bad.
Very good, thank
Yeah.
you.
That's the other way around.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yes.